What's up, everyone? I'm Shelby.
And I'm Marcus.
And we are Crugers with the C. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm doing all right.
What's that about?
Nothing.
So what's been going on with you, honey?
You know
Anything new in your life?
Just keeping it real.
Keeping it PG?
I'm gonna be serious this podcast.
No, you're not.
Yeah, this killing me.
Lies.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm just living life, you know what I'm saying? What's up, mama? I want to thank all my fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from the east side. We made it, baby. We made it. We all we got. I've been waiting my whole life to do that.
I'm glad you did it.
Nah, you know, everything has been good. You know, I went to a civil rights exhibit for my humanities class, and it was absolutely wonderful.
I need to go. You need to take me.
I'll take you, honey. It's here to March. You know, it's very interesting. It was some stuff that I learned that I did not know about during the civil rights era. And I don't ever think that. Let me ask you this: have you ever heard about the car stall in New York City?
No.
So basically, it was I guess it was if I remember correctly. Forgive me if I'm wrong, people, but you have to look this up for yourself. But it was a state fair or a world fair in New York City, and it was coming to that city, and they had a high profile speaker coming. I believe it was a president, if my memory serves me correct. But anyway, this group and organization, they planned a car stall, which means that people would drive their car and run out of gas and block all the traffic coming into the World Fair. And the reason they did that was to address the issue of jobs for minorities in the city. Now, the consequences of that was they were threatening to suspend those people's license for life.
Dog.
Yeah. But it's crazy. But that was like the one thing that stood out of the whole exhibit. It was like, I never knew that.
I never knew that either. That kind of like upset me because it seemed like we learned the same things over and over. I'm not saying that they're irrelevant.
Right.
But I feel like we learn the same things over and over when it comes to Black History Month and in schools.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be honest, I did not learn about Juneteenth.
Right.
I did not learn about that in school.
Right.
I did not learn about that in college. So it's like, why is that not taught? I always learned about Martin Luther King, Madam C.J. Walker.
I didn't learn about Madam C.J. Walker.
Well, I feel like these are the common names that we hear
when
it comes to Black History
Let's
Month.
do it like this because it's diverse. You come from a more diverse city than I did. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, in the bigger city, you might hear a little bit more. And I think that's because those people or the teachers or whoever may take that extra initiative to incorporate that in.
Okay.
But
maybe that's true. That's probably true. But I'm just saying, I feel like it's the same people. Malcolm X. I know these people did, wonderful things for us. I know that. And who else I'm trying to think of? Tubman. We hear about them, but we don't hear about the Henrietta Lacks. We don't hear.
Talk to me.
We don't hear about those people. We don't hear about that. What you just said. I learned about Zora Neale Hurston when I first went to college. I
had never heard about Zora Neale Hurston until I was grown, and she's from Florida.
Right, and she has a festival.
She was 2 hours away from where I grew up.
So yeah, see, I just feel like we don't learn about this stuff, and I just wonder why. You know, we need to learn about it at a younger age. Yes, I thank God that I'm able to learn about it now, but I just wish that they would talk about more. They would talk about more in schools. They would just talk about it in schools, to be honest.
I would say this, though. We hold some responsibility, too.
Yeah.
And the people before us held responsibility to teach us this stuff, even if we didn't know it.
Oh, yeah. I agree 100% with that.
This stuff should be incorporated in churches. It should. I believe that. Because the black church is a product, I believe, this is my opinion, and don't let nobody else say that this is fact, this is truth with a little t. This is my opinion. I think that the black church come from out of that turmoil. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, we should know this stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I remember when I was teaching young girls way back when, and I was like, it's February. What does this mean? You know, what is this month about?
Valentine's Day.
One girl raised her hand and she said Valentine's Day. And I was like, really? So from then on, that sparked the urge to have programs.
Right.
And we had those programs and we learned about people, but I tried to pull different people on purpose. Right. You know, because, but then again, I pulled some new people because I wasn't sure the same people because I wasn't sure what they knew because they associated February with Valentine's Day.
Right.
No, ma'am.
But it was a need for that, but they didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, it's so much of our history that we don't know.
Yeah, like
even local history. Know your local history.
Yeah, and like we was watching today this thing called the Green Book. I never knew about that.
I heard about the Green Book.
I never heard of it.
Let me tell you how I heard about the Green Book on NPR. I heard about the Green Book on I forget what the name of the show was, but I'm an avid NPR listener, and they was talking about this Green Book, and let me tell you, like, it was so fascinating when I heard it, because it was like when people from up north would come visit their family from the south, they would pack their food. Mm-hmm. That's why, you know, we had the brown paper bags with the fried chicken and stuff in it like that. We would have to pack our lunches because we couldn't stop at anywhere in those rural southern areas. You stop if you want to.
Yeah.
You're going to get killed. And you know what? It was like, dang, that's crazy. But this book was like an address and list of houses that you could stop at. And somebody just created it along the way. And that just made me mad because we don't do that now.
Right.
We walk past each other and don't speak.
Right. Or look at each other some kind of way.
We don't even know our neighbors.
For why?
We don't even know our neighbors. You know what? I hope I can find this post. And we already into this podcast. This ain't got nothing to do with
what we talking about.
But
it's just funny how we had to pack our bags and stuff. I mean, pack our own food. We still do that to this day. Right. But it's not for that same reason. It's like, do you know the history of why we, in our minds, at this day and age, we do it so we can save some money. But they was doing it because they couldn't stop.
Right. They would possibly lose their lives.
Yeah. I mean, like, do you know the history behind, you know, why we eat soul food, why we pack our food, and it's crazy.
Listen, I got a little clip I want to show you guys. And it's a couple minutes long, but just bear with me. It's not even 2 minutes long. But listen to what this old guy said right here.
I've been knowing 3 weeks y'all was coming. I know what you're going to do because you ain't done nothing. Now you want to come out here and make a showing. Like you done stopped all the crime guys shot down in the road over there. Across the street, he's begging for his life. He wanted to live. You could have called him before he went down. Do it on the top end. Don't wait till someone gets hit, hurt, and needs the help. How you gonna help somebody when they can't feel what you're doing for them? Don't let me do my work. Oh, see, I'm not gonna show you. Well, listen, man, I've been here 12 years. 75 years old, I done walked these streets. I tell them boys every day in the street, stop it. It's going to follow you. It's going to hurt this neighborhood. We had a neighborhood before we had a community. Community, you drive in, you drive out. Get up in the morning, go to work, that's it. Most people don't even know who their neighbor. They don't know your name and your neighbor next door to you. And then want to argue. You, councilman, better start doing your job. I tell everybody, do yours. Leave me alone. I'll cut it. You think the city come sweep this? I get the boom from outside. Ain't never set foot in that market. I got this.
He was outraged because he was talking about the police was walking through his neighborhood. He was like, don't come now. I knew 3 weeks ago y'all was coming through here. Because it's basically when stuff happened in the neighborhood, yeah, y'all come through, you show your face. But when we really need you, you're not here. But the key thing I wanted to point out was he said that most people don't know their neighbors. I know my neighbor.
Our neighbor.
And it was, our neighbor. Well, actually, we do have more than one set of neighbors. But this is our actual neighbor. You know, the other person is kind of, it's a stretch to try to reach them. But it felt weird the other day because I felt like I was on Home Improvement because we was talking over the fence. And all I could see was the top of his eyes. And so we were talking, but you need to know your people. And this green book, man, it was like, I don't know you, but you from up north, I'm going to invite you in because I care about your life. And it's like, what? Do we care about each other's life now?
Probably not. I mean, we just think about getting our own.
It's all about own. It's all about own, you know, and that's bitter.
It is bitter. We need to care for our own. We need to have each other's back. You know, it's just sad that we don't have each other's back like that, or, you know, we're just thought less of.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do anything. I ain't tell you this. We went to a game last Friday, a couple of Fridays ago, and we had another school. I could not use that school's bathroom, the women's bathroom. I had to go in the men's bathroom not because it was dirty, because I think it had like a sewage issue. This is not the school that our children go to. However, I thought that was ridiculous. It got to a point where you can't go in there. I gagged and I had to come out. So I debated about calling the school board. And I'm like, why am I sitting here debating about calling the school board on the school that's on our side of town? Because it needs to be fixed. Bump me. What about them children that go to that school every day that probably go in there? Because I asked our daughter, and she was like, yeah, we smelled it in the locker room. Y'all have to go in there and change, and that's where y'all spend halftime.
It's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. Bump me as a grown person. These children, they're children. They still growing, and they have to go in and use that. Or they can't use it, and then they have to hold their pee or whatever they have to do and walk somewhere else. That's not healthy either.
Right.
You know, it's
we
just
shouldn't have to settle for that either.
Right. And I called the school board, and they talking about I need to call the school. I should have told the school, this is after hours. Ain't nobody there. I'm calling you to let y'all know that I'm from a parent from another school, and this is ridiculous. It needs to be fixed. No question about it.
And then you look at it and say at the same time, how many of those kids think that that's normal?
Right, and it shouldn't be normal. Or it just
smell like that.
It shouldn't be normal.
Or
that is not normal.
Then you think about, what is the staff doing? Who are they telling? Are they even giving money to that school?
Right. And then, like, who to say the school didn't tell already? I'm pretty sure they did. I hope they did. So it's like, I'm thinking, like, me as a parent from another school or a visiting parent calling the school board will put some pressure on these people to come fix that. But no, I get pushback. You need to call the school. I'm calling you. Y'all need to do something.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure them schools on the west side don't smell like that.
Speaking of the west side, I was listening to, there's not very many podcasts that I listen to, but there are some that I listen to for inspiration, and some I listen to just to relax and just take my mind away from what we're doing. But this particular podcast was based here in Gainesville as well, and it was this lady on here talking about the struggles of living on the east side. And she was talking about how when it's certain times of the year, she didn't know if she was going to be able to get a bus or not because of the students. The students weren't here, so the bus wouldn't run on her side of town. You know, she was talking about if the bus is not in sync, she was almost about to lose her job because she kept missing buses because the buses wasn't on the same page. Mm-hmm. She was talking about how she had to feed her kids processed food from the local corner store because if she didn't get she wasn't able to catch the bus that run by the grocery store. That's what all she had. The other only option she had. Yep. So it's like it's still a state of need for us.
It is.
We're still fighting for equality. Mm-hmm. And that should not be the case.
Nope, it shouldn't. At all. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating and to me it's like I thank God that I don't have those problems at this time and moment. But I see people who do. Mm-hmm. And it bothers me because everybody just not out here not caring. Mm-hmm. You know, it's some people who don't care and they get out, they live out the system and they take advantage of any opportunity they can to do the minimum. Mm-hmm. But there are single mothers out here. It's single fathers out here. It's people out here that's trying their hardest to stay above water and there's no help for them. Yeah. So I'm not desensitized to that. You know, because sometimes people could be in a situation to be like, well, you had a choice to either do this or do that. No, that ain't life and that ain't reality. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you hear people say that because they were given a easy road. Mm-hmm. But it's some people out here who you never know.
Never know what happened.
You never know. It's been times that I've been in the store and I see people and not to say that they don't have money, but they paying for stuff with change. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, hey, look, just add that to mine. Mm-hmm. You know, because, and I'm not saying that for a show, but these people look like me. Yeah. I don't know their situation. Mm-hmm. They could be on the verge of losing it all, but I don't got a lot, but I can help you with something. Mm-hmm. So we got to be able to pull each other up, man. We got to be able to help each other. We got to be able to, you never know what you might say to somebody that may change their whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is true.
But then you see people who have a little bit and then they act like they're better than everybody else. That's the type of stuff I don't like.
I don't like that either.
Like, you're non-relatable.
Because you was here at one point. Don't act all bad and bougie now.
Because you came up for a little while.
Yep. Just for a little minute.
But, I don't know how we got here.
I don't know either.
But how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm heated, but I'm good.
I'm heated too because I really wanna be able to help my people.
I do too. I know it's a way. I really just wish it was a way that I could supply that side of town, like what that lady was talking about. Like, why can't I have me a corner store and I partner with farmers and have fresh food in there for them?
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because it's Netflix series, and I must tell y'all, it's vulgar.
Yeah, episode 2 is.
If your mind is not willing to accept the time we live in, or if your mind is not willing to just really see how the world really is, don't look at it. Mm-hmm. But it's very vulgar. Watch at your own risk. But I believe that episode 1 is a very good episode. Mm-hmm. It's mild. It's lightly sprinkled with some other stuff in it.
Yeah, but episode 2 is live. It's live.
Don't. You need to be careful of what you watch. I'm not telling you what to watch. I'm saying episode 1 is good. Mm-hmm. But it's Killer Mike and it's called Trigger Warning. So basically, I'll let you. I feel like I've been talking for about 45 minutes, so I'll let you talk.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So basically, nope, don't mind if I do. Episode 1 is him trying to live black for 3 days. Mm-hmm. Meaning he's only supporting black business. And he's in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And he found it hard. Now imagine
basically he was starving.
Yes. Imagine he in Atlanta and he found it hard. Atlanta is the mecca for black people right now. So he found it hard because he would go to this. He went to a rib shack to eat, and he started eating, but he was like, wait. Where did this meat come from? Did it come from a black farm? You know, but basically, I think what he's trying to do is open our eyes that everybody's not going to be a musician. Everybody's not going to be a actor. We need farmers.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, you know what? Yana has a cousin that's an FFA. I think we should support her.
Okay.
You know what FFA is, right? Future Farmers of America, for those who don't know. And I never thought about, like, she's literally the only black person I know who was in FFA.
They don't want to. Farmers work hard, and I don't think people want to do it.
It don't matter though.
It don't matter. I know it don't, but you have to think about it. Like you said, a lot of in that episode. Well, episode number 2 was pretty good because he was trying to see where people mind was, and nobody wanted to do trades like AC, locksmith, and welding and farming. Everybody wanted to be a musician and entertainment. What is that gonna do? That's not gonna produce no food.
Or can it change? Are you doing something with how? What is your words gonna do?
Right. Are you okay? Maybe your words will do something and you make money. Are you going to support?
It's
Are
bigger
you going to
than
support with that money, or you going to be flashy and buying that Gucci sweater? What you going to do?
Don't buy Gucci. Boycott Gucci. I don't even wear. Listen, I don't even wear fake Gucci.
I'm just saying, even if I had money, I wouldn't buy no Gucci.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
I would have.
I don't have the desire to.
Before the blackface thing.
I don't have no desire to now. So why would I?
My thing is, honestly, because you ain't rich.
Nah, but I can get it if I want it.
Yeah, you can. My thing is, what happened to Fubu?
He on Shark Tank.
What I'm saying though, like we do all this talking. I'm gonna at T.I. too. I'm gonna at Tip. I'm gonna at them all.
He was going off, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he went off, and I understand that he should have. But I'm gonna at him and say, why we start rocking Fubu? It was for us, by us. And we stopped rocking it. I had a pair of Fubu shoes, and I wore them proudly because I was like, it's black on. And this before I knew, like, I felt this way. I was wearing them, like, man, you got on Fubu shoes? I said, yeah. This was when Fubu wasn't out at its peak. So it had them went up and came back down. I'm like, yeah, it's a black company. Why wouldn't I wear it?
Yeah.
But we're so ashamed that, like, we gotta stop that. Like, we look at somebody and be like, oh, you ain't got that. You ain't got, man, that's just that classic Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yeah.
That's all. Man, it's Black History Month.
Yeah, and I just look at the things that we have in those neighborhoods, who they're ran by, who they're owned by, and who's behind the cash register, and who's doing the stocking, who's doing the heavy lifting. You gotta look at that.
We don't though. Like we don't look up to people who's doing positive stuff. We look up to people who's flashy and who got it. And like, I think we're conditioned to see that. We're not conditioned to see hard work. You know, we're not conditioned to see other things other than the flash.
Yeah. But we also have to, I don't know, understand who's in our neighborhoods. Do y'all understand that?
Break it down.
Y'all want to go get crabs. Who running that store? Y'all supporting them.
Don't even get me on that.
Who selling that 20 inches?
Don't even get me on. I'm gonna say it like this. I ain't not finna put this person's name out because they sell food in Stark, Florida. If you ever in Stark, Florida, Renwick Tyson always selling food. Check him out on Facebook. He always selling food. He sell food in Stark, Florida. At one point, he sold a crab tray. And I heard a person from Stark look at me in my face and say, I'd rather go to this other city and do it. I say, why, when you got him right there?
And the other city was 22 miles away. It just doesn't make sense.
Why would you do that when you have him right here? We so messed up in our brain, in our mind, that we don't even understand that we program. We don't understand that we program.
Yep.
That's bad. That's like, and I'm glad because Killer Mike did that series, because it's opening your eyes now.
Yeah, it is.
It's opening the eyes to the woke person. Or, that word was so 2018, but you have to be woke. It's time to be woke. The average dollar, they say, stay in the black economy 6 freaking hours. You don't even sleep that long.
Nope.
6 hours.
And then what also bothers me too, like the black communities and neighborhoods, even back home, it seems like they're slowly going away. And even here where we stay now, they're slowly going away.
Gentrification.
They're building houses to cater to the students. And I don't know what street it is. I want to say 6th Street. So they built houses. But on the end, it was a house that was owned by a family.
Where is this?
It's
here?
Here. And it's close to that Metro PCS. I'm sorry, I'm being salacious, but it's close to that Metro PCS store. And they built them nice houses, and students live in there.
Oh.
But on the opposite end, that house was somebody's, like a family.
They bought them out.
They bought them out. Because you know what? They renovating it now so it can look more like the one. Because they all look the same. It's just that this one was older. They're renovating that one now so it can look the same. And it's like that street and beyond was a black neighborhood.
Right.
So
I know what you're talking about now.
How much did y'all buy them? How much did y'all give them?
A little or nothing.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I was going. I bet you wasn't nothing. I bet you wasn't nothing at all. Like, you want my life. They probably been in that house longer than I've been alive. You want my life so you can match the rest of these houses? You're going to have to set me up for life. I don't want to have to worry about nothing.
I think it's a deeper rooted issue, too. This goes back to the family being a family. Like, everyone is going to be able to, you're going to have disagreements in your family. But when it's time for business, I want to teach my kids loyalty. I understand. I want to teach them how to be loyal to each other, because I don't want you going behind your sister back saying, "Oh, well, she got this, I'm going to get this," or "She got this, I'm going to get." Nah, I don't want that. Y'all learn how to talk, because y'all need to be together. If something happened to us, it should be like, what can we do to make the best decision for both of us? Not, oh, well, this mine or this yours. No. It is, and I think that goes, I said all that to say this. When families have stuff, a lot of times they do pass it on. But people so greedy and money hungry that we lose it.
And that's another thing, too. Like, we don't have nothing to pass on at all, because you're right. We done sold it. So it's like you have to think about things like that. It's just, I don't know. I just want to have a legacy where we can pass on to our children.
Right.
And pass on and pass on. And I do desire to, like, wreak good havoc in a black neighborhood. Like, just change everything. Or not change, put things there. Because it's a Publix on every street.
Yeah, and I love Publix.
I do too.
Let me get that right.
But if you go on a certain side of town, no ma'am, you're not going to find one.
You got to go over there to get it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though. But in order for that to happen, we got to be on one accord. We have to be on one accord, because and I reference Stark. And I'm going to talk about Stark because I love Stark and I can criticize it. Right? But they had a barbecue shop. They had a soul food restaurant. I would see more support from people of other ethnicities than the people who lived in that community. Because all they could do is talk about it. You have a business right here, but you think that these people are making so much money and you hate to see that.
Yeah.
Support them, because now they got this open, this creating jobs for y'all.
Yep.
You don't have to go look for no job.
Yeah, think about it. It's creating stuff for y'all.
I'm upset.
They make money. Guess what? If they make money, they can go open up something else. It can trickle. It can trickle down. It can provide jobs. It can provide food, whatever. It can be a restaurant. They make money. They can trickle down and go get an apartment complex and redo. It can provide an entertainment place or something like a skating rink or just something, a pool hall or something. Different businesses can come out of one. That means more jobs. That means more stability. Mm-hmm. It means a lot.
It means your community could have value.
Right.
And then you say, and this is where I feel like the churches need to come together with the people on the streets. The people on the streets need to come together with the churches. Everybody need to come together, because we always say there's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to do for these kids. Mm-hmm. Find out what they need.
Mm-hmm. They need a lot.
It's people. And I just got to be me, and I got to say what I got to say. But I feel like when the church have power, mm-hmm. and the church can make things happen, but if we're not connecting with these people on the streets, what we doing?
The church has to be willing to step out.
Right. I'm not saying drop your standards. And I'm not saying that at all. Mm-mm. But I'm saying you can make stuff happen.
Yeah, we can't reach everybody within the church walls.
You never know what your act of saying, well, let's try to acquire this building. Because a lot of people in the church are educated. Mm-hmm. They know how to do stuff. Show them.
Yep.
All these kids don't want to sell drugs.
No, they don't.
They don't want to walk around twisting their hair up for no reason. They twisting their hair because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah. They have other talents.
It's so much talent.
Yep. You got to bring it out of them. If you selling drugs, you have business in you.
Yes.
You do.
Straight up.
You have business. If you twisting your hair, you have the stylist in you.
Right.
It's something in you. You just going the wrong way about it.
Or you just thinking.
Right. It's so much out there. There's so much that we can do, but we have to be on one accord, like you said.
We have to be on one accord. And it's like when are we ever going to get it? When are we ever going to wake up? Mm-hmm. Another place that I see that I'm surprised is like I'm on the outside looking in, and I can't say much about this place because I don't know much about it. But me as an outsider looking in, Ocala could be a booming place of business for black owners. I see so much stuff, and like I work with a lot of people from Ocala, so I'm like, and y'all got all this, and nobody go to it. Mm-hmm. Y'all got this, and nobody do nothing to it. I'm like, what? And Ocala is huge. But if we could just get on one accord,
yeah, it'll be different.
I think that we have to stop looking at me, and look at the bigger picture.
It is a bigger picture out there.
Because everybody looking at the money. Like,
you gotta look at the lives you're gonna change.
Right.
The things that you'll make better.
I'm reminded of an old Biggie verse. Whoever thought that hip hop would make it this far? Mm-hmm. He did not know that he was gonna be remembered to this day. Mm-hmm. He didn't know that.
Be quoted. Be on an Oreo commercial.
He did not know that. But he took interest in his craft, and he did what he did, and it left a legacy. Mm-hmm. We have to stop focusing on getting the bling, and we all guilty of it. Getting the bling, getting the car, getting the shoes, getting the girls, and think about legacy.
And being recognized for what you do all the time.
Yes.
The recognition or the title. That's not important.
Some people might not be recognized after they're dead. But it's like our mind. And I'm going to be cautious how I say this. The time for us saying that we haven't been out of slavery that long or whatever, because you know what I'm talking about, how people use that statement, that's over. It's time now to man up. We got to stop killing each other, for one. Stop killing each other. Stop glorifying the violence in our neighborhoods. We got to stop glorifying the foolishness. Stop glorifying the drug dealing. Because if you got it's like a person who go to prison. They go to prison, they become so creative because all they have is time on their hand. You have that same time on the streets. But you're so caught up in what everybody else is doing, you're not focused on yourself.
Yep.
It's time for you to stop, man up, woman up, focus on what it is that you have inside of you, and put your foot forward to go and to get it.
Yeah. Amen. Preach.
That's just how I feel.
I think you're absolutely right.
I don't even know what this episode is about anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't even give it a title.
I know what the title is. It's Black History Month.
Okay.
We're making up for all the other episodes that we missed. And you know what? This wasn't even supposed to be this podcast.
I know. It's just how it went. It was supposed to go this way.
Yeah. I wonder what sparked this. Because was it the videos we watched before?
I think it was the videos that we watched. I think it was the meeting that I went to earlier today. I think you bringing up that podcast about the lady on the east side and her going to the corner store. You know, why can't I own a corner store in the black neighborhood?
Who said you can't? Coley P do. If people don't know who Coley P is, I applaud him. He's a rapper from your city. What he from?
I believe Pompano.
Pompano? He a rapper. Got his own corner store. He can own his own corner store. But people won't support it. It's a corner store in Stark. He don't sell everything, but it's in the middle of the black neighborhood. And people won't go there. They'll go to the Arab who's going to send, and I don't mean that as a derogatory statement. How can I say Indian? He'll go to the Indian guy who's going to send the money back overseas to his family.
Yeah.
They're going to come over here, open another corner store in your neighborhood.
And the money is staying in their pocket.
And he works 7 days a week. He don't clean. He'll hire somebody to clean. And only thing he gonna give him is bleach. So it's not really clean. And he might pay him with beer.
Yeah. You don't see that. That's what I was saying about the other stores that's in our neighborhoods. Who behind the cash register? Who cleaning? Who lifting? Who stocking? You gotta look at that.
And then you call him boss man.
Exactly.
We're so easy to give up our title to somebody else. But then when somebody of your own stuff running the store and they hold it to a standard, he acting like he better than everybody. No, he just expect more out of you.
Yeah.
Man, we messed up.
We don't have to be.
We messed up, but
we don't have to be.
I think the excuses are over. It's time, like, crack came, crack gone. Crack messed us up. Crack set us back. Crack set us back a few years, but I think the excuses are over. There's no reason.
They are. It's so many people doing stuff on their own now. You can't tell me you don't know how to do nothing because you're on YouTube. I see you doing it. So why not do it for your community?
Man, it's like it all starts with a choice. And the choice is yours. It's like, what you gonna do? Because you can sit here and play victim. You can still play victim. And I'm talking about the people who's saying, oh, they're pointing fingers in the name game. I'm not talking about those people who we talked about earlier that's actually has a job, but they need the public transportation to get there. I'm not talking about those people. Because those people are actually striving to put themselves in a better position. When I was listening to this lady, she said that she was homeless. And she said before she was homeless, she had a car, but she had to sell her car for money. So she was striving to make a better life. Yeah. She wasn't sitting back saying, oh, no, they did this. They did that. They did this.
I can't go to work because my bus stopped in a dark place. No, she did it.
She did it. She was a woman with a child.
She did it. She got it done.
So you could do it.
And you can't say, I couldn't feed my children because they ain't have that. Even though it was processed up, she did it.
Even though. And she cooked it. So the time for excuses is over. And I gotta say this too to the young men. Stop giving away your life.
What you mean by that, honey?
That means stop taking chances that's gonna put you in prison when you don't have to be there. Listen, the streets lead two ways. And I don't see why y'all haven't figured this out yet. The streets lead to two places. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to answer the question. Where do the streets lead you?
Jail or the grave.
You knew that. I knew that. They know that. Life is not a game, people. And I think that we need some billboards in these cities that say the streets lead you two ways, dead or jail. Maybe they subconscious will pick up on it. Maybe. But it's like, you freely giving. It's like I was looking on YouTube and you see these kids, this person getting shot, this person getting shot, and then they talking about free my homie this. That's just a cool slogan to say. You giving your life away either to death or to the jail. Ain't nobody in jail want to be in jail.
No,
I'm sorry. There's no one. I can't tell you that. Anybody in jail that want to be in jail, unless it's that person who get in there, sober up, and really have a life-changing situation and say, this actually saved my life. And they still don't want to be in jail. They're just grateful that they ain't dead. I'm just passionate about my people, that's all.
Yeah, me too. I'm passionate about our communities.
I want to see us do better so bad. Like, that's why when I be seeing people on social media that I know or, doing stuff, I share their stuff because it's like they doing something. They from where I'm from. They doing something. But what I do want to see, too, is letting these people know where you from, where you really from. Because that could say something to that kid who's looking for something, you know? Because, let me see. Let me see, was I inspired by anyone that came from Stark, Florida? I didn't know anyone. There was a gospel singer that they said he came from that area, but I didn't know him. He was much older than I. But...
And like you said, you have to say where you from. Because... a lot of people will be like down south, they'll be like, where you from? Fort Lauderdale, but they really from Pompano. They'll say Fort Lauderdale because people know Fort Lauderdale more than Pompano. But say your city.
Kodak Black did.
He didn't what? He said Pompano? He said Fort Lauderdale?
He said the no.
Oh, okay. That's Pompano.
That's Pompano, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But people know that. If you truly from Pompano, you know that's Pompano. So. But
that's what he said. He never said Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, I got you.
But he was saying, and you know what? Like that's one person that I seen that I hope would get himself together too, being on the path that he was on, in and out of jail.
I think he's starting to.
Yeah. And sometimes it do take a move for you to get away from your surroundings. But this bad too though, because look, when we as black people make it, we have to move.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way.
No.
It should not be that way.
We should be able to.
We should be able to enrich our community without the hate, man. We gotta stop hating. That's all Willie Lynch, man. That's all I gotta say about that. But it's Black History Month. What you got for Black History? We done preached enough. We done preached enough. So since we on Black History, what do you got as far as any Black History facts? Any Black History?
I said I was gonna post something every week.
All right, so I saved this one. If you have ever used a portable fax, touch-tone telephone, caller ID, or call waiting, thank this black inventor, Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. Did you know about her?
No.
Me either.
I posted one about Henrietta Lacks.
Uh-huh.
And that's it. But I meant to find, a black guy invented the potato chip. Boy, look here.
I can figure that, though.
I was like, thank you, sir.
I saw some funny Black History stuff, but what I don't want is for Black History to turn into a joke.
Yeah.
I don't want that. But what I do like the humor in it. But you know what I didn't notice? I didn't know that Muhammad Ali did all of the stuff that he did. That was the second thing that stood out for me in that exhibit. And I'm going to read some of the stuff he did, because I said, man, I did not know he did all that. Hold on, let me get to it. Honey, you ain't got no you don't have any Black History post save?
Just that one.
But what about Dr. Henrietta Lack? Let me know.
I haven't been on Facebook, to be honest, or social media that much like that. Yeah, honey, that's about it. I'm a little dry right now.
Okay, so this is a snippet of what I read about Muhammad Ali. In retirement, Ali went against the U.S. policy through goodwill admissions to Afghanistan and North Korea, delivered medical supplies to an embargoed Cuba, traveled to Iraq, and secured the release of 15 U.S. hostages during the first Gulf War, and went to South Africa to meet Nelson Mandela upon his release from prison. He supported the Special Olympics and Make-A-Wish Foundation, Messenger of Peace Award, and many more recognition for his service. I did not know that he did all of that. Now, I did know that he did not go to war. But that other stuff, no, I didn't know. There was a quote from James Baldwin, and it was like, well, if one really wishes to know how justice is administered in a country, one does not question the policeman, the lawyers, the judges, or the protected members of the middle class. One goes to the unprotected, those precisely who need the law's protection most, and asks listeners to their testimony. Ask any Mexican, any Puerto Rican, any black man, any poor person. Ask the wretched how they fare in the halls of justice, and then you will know not whether or not it has any love for justice or any concept of it. It is certain in any case that ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. James Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen. And I did not know much about him. Man, there's so much stuff that, you don't know. And nobody knew that this exhibit was here.
I didn't.
I learned about it through school.
Yeah.
Because what? We don't go to museums.
No. But it wasn't advertised.
Yeah, but we don't go to museums either. We'll go to, where's somewhere we'll go?
You're asking the wrong person.
We don't go nowhere.
We don't.
But we'll go somewhere. We don't go to stuff like that. You know, but even the stuff about the Sequoia National Park. Did you know about that?
What?
The Sequoia National Park where the redwoods are?
Mm-mm.
It was a black guy who helped pave the way. He was a general in the army. Stuff we don't know.
Yeah.
How many of us visit the Sequoia National Park? But we ready to go to Dubai.
I know. I done heard 3 people this week talk about Dubai.
We never been to Niagara Falls. I'm just saying, I love my people. It's Black History Month.
That's a slogan. I love my people. It's Black History Month.
And this was a total conversation because we had a different podcast lined up for you guys.
We sure enough did.
But whatever happened,
I got
happened.
one. I'm black every month, but this month I'm black.
I'm black. Like, we should take pride in Black History Month. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
What, taking pride?
In Black History Month.
Yeah.
Like, we're a part of history now, right? So, who is our Black History Month? Like, right now, who do you think is going to go down in history on Black History Month? Like, for our times. Think about it. Definitely Serena Williams.
Why you say that?
Because she's an all-star tennis player.
All her accomplishments.
LeBron James going to go down in history, period. But those are athletes.
Yeah. Other than athletes.
Of course, President Obama.
Yeah, I thought about him, but I thought I ain't have to say him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's just say it. But who else would go to... I think you would have to say T.D. Jakes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be known as a director.
Jesus' cousin.
Yeah. I'll let you say that one. Like, who else would go down in history, though? Like, that's a good question. Other than a celebrity or an athlete.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of, other than a celebrity or athlete.
Not even, this is not going to be, like, this is not highlighted, but I don't know, but those people who were victims of that Charleston shooting.
Yeah.
They will go down.
Well, but then if you want to go there, all the people that died because of police ignorance.
Do you think, like, who do we really know? Like, Michael Brown?
The girl Sandra all of
Bland?
Them. Yeah.
Trayvon Martin?
I mean, they celebrated his birthday.
What was it? Not Fidel, but the other dude.
It's a lot of them.
The Castro guy? See, like, we don't remember their name.
The dude with the cigarettes.
Sterling.
The dude with this. I can.
In Louisiana, right?
I thought it was New York.
And the dude in Philadelphia. One was in New York and one was in New Orleans. This dude, one in New Orleans Louisiana had the CDs. Okay,
yeah, the one with the cigarettes where he was handcuffed and he said he couldn't breathe.
Right.
I think that was New York.
Right.
All of them. I just think all of that.
And you know what else crazy? Like, this is not something that is new. This has been happening because at that exhibit, there were...
It's just been recorded.
Yeah. Like, they can't... Well, they still get away with it because they don't even be charged for half the time. They be acquitted or whatever. But it was 3 guys. And they were a part of a committee that would help blacks get registered to vote. And they were, I think, they was some southern state, and they went missing. So after the 3-day hunt, after 3 days of looking for them, and like it's not like they didn't know where they were because they killed them. Probably in my mind, they killed them. They just had to put on the show. But after 3 days of looking for these people, they found their car burnt up. 3 days later, they found the men killed and they found them in the dam. And one of the pictures that was, it was an old black lady holding it, and it was a group of people that said, "Stop police killings." So this is not nothing new. Like, we know this stuff exists. It still exists. We know who the judges are. We know who all of these people are in cahoots. But we got to stop giving away our freedom.
Yeah.
Like, young men, young women. The streets lead two places, dead or in jail. You're not invincible, and you're going to get killed, or you're going to get put in jail. If you don't like nobody telling you what to do now while you on the streets, you might as well suck that up, charge it to the game, because if you don't do it now, somebody's still going to be telling you what to do. They're going to tell you when to eat. They're going to tell you when to get up. They're going to tell you how to make your bed. You're going to have to ask them, can you use the bathroom? You might, and look, if you spend a long time in there, you might be 60 years old and have to ask the 21, can you use the bathroom? And they tell you, no, go sit down.
Gotta think about this stuff.
You don't think, though. Like, you think it's cool to be in the streets with a gun. Anybody can have a gun. Anybody could kill somebody. But can you go to somebody and say, look, I was wrong? That's the new challenge. That's what the challenge need to be on Facebook. Man up challenge. Go and apologize.
Yep.
Because when you go kill somebody, yeah, you might have killed that person, but now guess what? You killed yourself too, pretty much. Because you ain't got no freedom. Go in there and live off your noodles, live off your sardines, and see how many noodles and sardines you could get and live that way. Wear the same uniform every day or somebody else's underwear.
And you won't be having the fresh loving of a woman.
After 6 months, he might look like a woman. What he said on The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
You're going to have to settle on the beautiful part and the woman part. Yeah. But after 6 months, he look like Beyonce.
Yep.
It's real. It's real, but I just love my people. It's Black History Month.
Oh, Lord.
It's Black History Month. And, you know, I guess this episode was overdue because we were supposed to drop some knowledge on each episode. But, look here, my brother. Look here. My brother. But you got anything? I feel like I just went on a tangent.
No, that's all right. I think I did mine's the first half. You did yours the second half.
Because you was queen. You ain't quiet. You queen. You queen. But any closing remarks, benedictions?
No, I don't have any church announcements.
All right. So tell them where they can find us at, honey.
You can find us on Facebook at Crugers with a C. You can find us on YouTube at Cruger with a C. And you can email us at CrugersWAC@gmail.com. That's CRUGERSWAC@gmail.com. And SoundCloud, honey, what's that?
You can just comment.
And Apple Podcasts, you can comment and leave a review.
Leave us a review. You know, we got a few. And I'm rapping. Leave us a review. You know, we got a few. And we thank you all for listening. Thank you for all for listening. If I never asked you to share an episode, share this one. Share this to some younger people, because I'm tired of seeing our young men especially giving their lives away. I'm tired of seeing them get killed. I'm tired of seeing them killing each other. We got to learn how to love each other. Walk up to your brother and give him a hug. Give him some dap. Speak to somebody that you don't know. Like, we all hurting. We ain't got to be all looking mad. They probably come from a broken home. You probably come from a good home. Ask them how you doing. You could be the one to change somebody else's life. So it's not all about us. We got to see the bigger picture. And before I get in the tangent, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Until the next time, I'm Marcus.
I'm Shelby.
And we're Crugers with the C.